Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who dat? Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones, as I try to go live on Facebook as well. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Let me fix my mic. As y'all can see, your boy was kind of ripping and running, as the OGs would say. Before, you can't make this stuff up. Before I actually started the show, most of you know that I have an office in my home. I do the show in my studio. Someone knocked on the door, and there was the door-to-door, I won't call her a door-to-door salesman, but she was trying to sell me on some pest control. Shouts out to Camry, man. I told her I'd give her a shout out when I told her like what I did for a living. But she had a really good pitch, man. But I was happy with my pest control company, right? And I'm trying to make the graphics. I'm trying to get all of the little cuts and everything like that going for the show. And I wasn't able to because she was trying to sell me on this pest control stuff. But we're here now. We're here. Where else can you get this? All right, where else can you get some talk about pest control on top of some Saints football? Right here on the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody at home, at work, on the go. Look, man, before I even get started about all these shouts out, I shout out the chat. I shout out to people at home. Shouts out to my guys, Hoodie Jude. Man, shouts out to Jerry. Shouts out to Dolph. Man, shouts out to Zach. I was checking y'all boys out the other night, man. I don't think I laughed that hard in a long time, man. It was like right after, I believe it's like Wednesday night. It was right after I did the show, and I was checking it out, man. Shouts out to Hoodie, man. I follow him on Facebook, and I seen that he went live, man. I was checking it out. Great content right there, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Hoodie Juve and Dolph and Zach, and also Jerry's channel, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to those brothers, man. They're doing a really good job talking Saints football and providing some humor as well. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. There's a lot of things that we can be talking about here about the New Orleans Saints. I didn't have a show yesterday. Was coaching our Paxton football team. Shouts out to my boy Pac-Man. Scored his first touchdown of the season on yesterday, man. Took the ball yards, got his flag pulled down at the 2 and ran it in for a touchdown. My little man out there doing big things. But speaking of doing big things, the New Orleans Saints trying to do big things in 2025. And by big, I mean trying to beef up this offensive line. There were some different alignments for the New Orleans Saints. We're going to be talking about that on this episode. Also, we're going to be talking about the Saints quarterback competition and how one quarterback could be on the outside looking in. I mean, it was pretty much an uphill climb for him, but it might be insurmountable at this point. But subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button on your way in. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line. Let's talk about the Hog Mollies. as Kurt Hurstreet would like to call them, the hog mollies up front. We know that the New Orleans Saints offensive line was not very good last season. I mean, they just could not get it together. And honestly, it has been that way for quite some time. I would have to say about at least 2 seasons, the New Orleans Saints offensive line has been in shambles. Rather, it's the fact that they have never been together as a cohesive unit on the offensive line because guys get hurt. They're like they playing tag. One guy gets healthy, the other guy leaves out. Other guy comes back. The other guy they're replacing him, he gets hurt. It's been the same old song and dance. But it seems like the offensive line is getting on track. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you heard, and if you have not, the alignment for the New Orleans Saints offensive line for phase 1 at OTAs was left tackle Kelvin Banks Jr., the rookie, the first round draft pick of the New Orleans Saints out of Texas. Next to him, Trevor Penning, who is trying to find his place on the offensive line. You got Eric McCoy, the mainstay cornerstone center, arguably the best player on the team. You got Cesar Ruiz at right guard. You know, he is what he is, pretty solid on some days. And then at right tackle, Telese Fuaga in his natural habitat. We know that Fuaga was a right tackle at Oregon State, switched over to left tackle, had to kind of change some things up, had to change the way that he played the position that he, has played throughout his entire time. Right tackle switching to left tackle is not very easy. And Telese talked to the media about the transition. He spoke a little bit about it, about, making that transition back to the right tackle position, something that he's used to. Even though he said he played it his entire life for the most part, still, is a little bit rusty and he has to kind of work the kinks out.
Yeah, it's just really definitely like riding a bike, but at the same time, still got to knock some rust off. And new technique comes into play when you get a new O-line coach and a new kind of scheme. So, but I think it's pretty cool so far.
Yeah, so I mean, Telese, you could tell he's happy back at the right tackle position. And shouts out to Kellen Moore, who is not trying to put a square peg into a round hole, which the New Orleans Saints have done for I don't know how long, trying to make guys be in positions they don't want to be in. And we know that it didn't work for Dennis Allen. And what I learned about Kellen Moore, for all those people out there that's trying to make it seem like he's passive aggressive, he ain't really trying to go at Mickey Loomis's neck, all these different things. This is one thing that I am learning about Kellen Moore. He is a player's coach, and he is allowing these guys to feel comfortable. He's allowing these guys to provide feedback to him, and he's listening. And he's also trying to provide a team that makes guys comfortable. If you make a team comfortable, if you make a player comfortable, they are going to play fast. And you look at Telese, you can tell he wanted to be at right tackle, and credit to the New Orleans Saints putting him at that position. I've been saying this for I don't know how long about Trevor Penning. People thought I was crazy. I've heard so many people going at me talking about, oh, man, it ain't going to work. Oh, he ain't this, he ain't that, because of his height, because of his length, yada, yada, yada. I said, the way that this guy likes to maul people, especially in the running game, the Saints need to put him at guard. I've said this from the first year that it just seemed like it wasn't panning out. When people were just whiffing past him, the pass rushes were just whiffing past him. I said they need to throw the dude on the inside. People told me I was crazy, told me I ain't know nothing about football. Cry me a freaking river. This is where I feel like this man will thrive because he likes to maul people. He likes to run people over. He has a mean streak, and I think that he will find success. I don't know if it's long-term with the Saints, but I feel as if he was to go out here as a unrestricted free agent after, this year, a team will make him a guard, and I think he'll find success. I ain't saying he's going to be, all pro or anything like that, but I think that he'll be able to find success in the National Football League as a guard. And Kelvin Banks, I told y'all, and I'm going to say it until proven otherwise. Kelvin Banks will go down in history as one of the best players the Saints have ever had. If he stays healthy, I really believe that, because he is that athletic, he is that talented, and I don't think you're going to have to worry about him as much. Yeah, he'll probably go through some rookie growing pains, depends on the matchup, but he is going to be special for the New Orleans Saints on the offensive line. You can go ahead and stamp that. You can go ahead and put, you know what I'm saying, and put a thumbnail right there or whatever, a pin, wherever you want to put. That's how I feel about Calvin Banks. I when talking to this guy at the combine, from actually watching him work, from going back and watching his film, that guy is what you call special. I feel so bad because everybody is talking about Tyler Shough. Everybody is talking about Tyler Shough and what Tyler Shough can bring to the table. And honestly, we're going to be talking about Tyler Shough a little bit later in the show. But Calvin Banks deserves to be talked about. Calvin Banks deserved to be picked at the 9th position, even though he doesn't play the sexiest position. Everybody doesn't like offensive linemen to be drafted like that until they realize that their quarterback can't stay upright. Then all of a sudden you got to draft the offensive lineman. But he is a special player, and he's going to be a special player for the New Orleans Saints. Credit once again to Kellen Moore for doing what needs to be done, listening to these players and allowing them to provide feedback and him listening to them. So giving them an opportunity to be able to take advantage of spots they want to be in. If you don't get that spot, if you don't put in the work, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Sounds pretty good to me. There was one part of that interview with Tallahassee, and I encourage you to check out New Orleans Saints YouTube channel for the full interview. It's about 2 minutes. But if you notice at the beginning, I want you to pay attention to what he said. He was talking about how pretty much they ran them boys into the ground last offseason. Did y'all hear what I said? Pretty much ran them boys into the ground this past last offseason. Tallahassee talked about it, talked about how his body felt, and talked about how from last year to this year, how much of a difference it is, which pretty much just tells us everything that we need to know, that Dennis Allen was one of the main reasons why the New Orleans Saints had so many of those injuries, basically running his players down to the ground and not really looking at the analytics or the tech in order to try to make sure that his players are not being ran into the ground, making sure he keeps up with how many miles these guys are running. Credit to Kellen Moore. Like these things don't really seem like they matter very much to people, but it does. It matters. Paying attention to the tech. I understand you got some old-fashioned folk out here that still trying to make their flip phone work and still trying to hold it up, still saying that camera work, but you got to get with the times, man. If there's tech, if there's like some type of technology or some type of device that a player can wear on themselves in order for you to have a full understanding of how fast this guy is running, how much he's putting in, how much his heart is racing at this particular point, it can teach you how to rev up or dial back something, or have a guy sitting on the side in order to have him kind of rehab, maybe go through some therapy or something like that to make sure that he is healthy for the season. Your boy Dennis Allen was out here plowing these mules, if you get what I'm saying. That's an old term. You know, your grandma probably or your grandpa probably used plowing the mule. You know what I'm saying? Like basically put the plow on the mule and just had them boys out there just going without even looking at how much, like, you know, how much they're putting on these guys' bodies, man. So credit to Kellen Moore for, you know, making sure that he's keeping up with that type of stuff. That's going to go a long way in the future. But let me go ahead and read some of your comments before we get to the second topic, which is the quarterback competition. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to talk about that. 150 people watching this right now in real time. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button if you like the show, if you like the content, if you like what we're talking about over here. Hit that like button to help the show to grow. Let's go ahead and go with Larry. Larry says Pennant's only chance is as a guard. He simply is not a good pass blocker against speed off the edge, but he's a good run blocker, and guards suit his strength more. I've been said that. I've been said it. And, you know, people, you know, went at my neck for it, but I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. Look, you can say whatever you want to say about TJ Jones, but your boy no ball. All right. There's some things that I might get wrong or something like that. But when you look at the way that this dude was mauling guys, and this goes back to like his first game, I'm talking about preseason, when he was out there like getting whipped, by these edge rushers. But every time, like I want y'all to understand this. This dude like scored like I want to say like in an 80 percentile, like in his first game. He was atrocious at pass blocking, but his run blocking was so great it made his PFF score look higher than what it should have been. Like he is that good. Like he wants to maul people. He wants to run people over. That is what he wants to do. He wants to give people a little something extra. I actually like Trevor Pennings's. I like his mean streak. I feel like you need that mind frame to be on the offensive line. I think that you need a little bit of a screw loose as an offensive lineman. And he's a guy who, plays violent. And I ain't got no problem with that. But you just got to find a place for him. And I just think that guard is the right position for him. They just don't like him, and that's okay. I'm not too sure who we're referring to as the person that others don't like. Watching NFL Live, and Kellen Moore popped up on the screen from the presser talking about the tush push not being banned. Well, look, I ain't got no problem with the tush push not being banned. I don't. And I said this before. Somebody asked me a question on the last episode about that. It's very simple to me. The only reason why we having this conversation is because the Philadelphia Eagles found a way to be dominant, and people can't stop it, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. If the analytics were not as high, the probability of them actually being successful in those 4th and 1s, those 3rd and 1s, etc. If it wasn't like off the charts, when it comes to the success rate, nobody would be saying anything at all. It's the fact that it works. If you got a problem with it, stop it. Miss me with that stuff talking about, oh man, injuries occur. Injuries are like, man, miss me with that. Because if teams were stopping these players on a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, we would not be having this conversation. So I'm glad that they kept it, because they should. If you have a problem with it, try to stop it. Try to beef up your team. Try to get those nose guards up there. You know what I'm saying? Try to get them big ham hock eating defensive tackles to try to make sure that they can actually push those guys back. In the meantime, shut up if you can't stop it, because it just sounds like to me it's just like they just mad that it's working. So they just trying to cut it out because it actually works for the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, there's no love lost, I'm pretty sure, among Saints fans and Eagles fans. At the end of the day, honestly, Philadelphia Eagles, I think that they have one of the most classless fan bases in football. That's just my opinion. The way that they treat people, like it just seems like to me like, a bunch of people full of, broken dreams or something like that. Maybe they wanted to play football but couldn't. Like the way that they treat people that come into that stadium, the way that Philadelphia Eagles fans for the most part act, classless. But they come up with a play that works. I ain't got no problem with it. Let's see. Y'all going to be all right. I think y'all will do very well this year. Eli, I appreciate that, man. Shouts out to Eli, Falcon fan there. I think the Falcons going to find success as well, man. I really do. I think they got some talented guys. A lot of people are criticizing them, for aggressively moving up in the first round. But look, I'm going to say this, man. And I know people talk about Terry Fontenot in last season, how he drafted Michael Penix in the first round when they gave Kirk Cousins that contract. But the same people, I don't understand. Like, people should learn from their mistakes, but I guess it just is about entertainment and narratives. The man showed that the decision with rolling with Michael Penix was a good one, because Kirk Cousins played like trash going down the stretch. And then all of a sudden, Michael Penix comes in the game and it made Terry Fontenot look like a prophet. Now, he goes out, he gets, he gets James Pierce. He moves back into the first round to get him. I don't get why people are not giving him the benefit of the doubt. But hey, man, I think that, you know, sometimes you got to be aggressive if you're trying to win. I've read they're very happy with DA and Shy, says Axel Bum. Josh, look, I'm not surprised by that. Look, Dennis Allen is a really good, elite defensive coordinator. Like, you cannot take that away from him. Chicago's defense is going to be very good. Very, very good. Like, you can dislike Dennis Allen, the way that this team looked. As a head coach, he is awful. Should never be a head coach ever again in his life. But as a defensive coordinator, he's outstanding. He is a great defensive coordinator, and that defense will be on point. Trust and believe it will be on point. So I don't, that doesn't surprise me that they happy. I mean, if the Saints would have done right, not hiring Dennis Allen as the head coach and just hire somebody on the outside to come in to be a brand new head coach, they would have more than likely kept Dennis Allen, and the defense would have been pretty good, damn good. And whoever they got probably would have been an offensive-minded coach. I guarantee you the Saints would not look like they do right now. I guarantee you, if the New Orleans Saints would have went out here and they would have hired somebody from the outside, maybe like an offensive-minded coach, hell, maybe Kevin O'Connell, because Kevin O'Connell was actually in a head coaching search during that time. Who knows? You could have hired Kevin O'Connell. And Kevin O'Connell is a really good offensive minded coach, does really good with quarterbacks. Y'all see every time he no matter what quarterback goes out there, seems like they find success. You combine that with Dennis Allen coaching the defense, we would not be having this conversation right now. I guarantee you Tampa Bay would not have won the division 4 years in a row. So Dennis Allen is a great coordinator. There's no doubt about that. You know, and he could have still been here coaching the defense and making it better if the Saints would have went out here and just got themselves an offensive-minded coach. Moving on. Says, I think Kellen Moore is trying to give Trevor Penny do like Mekhi Becton. Well, yeah. I mean, look, he's on your team, not going anywhere, right? You know, so you might as well try to find a spot for him in the meantime. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I mean, he leaves. No harm, no foul, right? I mean, after this season, he's an unrestricted free agent. The Saints didn't pick up his fifth-year option. So he goes out there, becomes an unrestricted free agent. You know, if things don't pan out, he'll probably land on his feet somewhere else. Teams have a tendency of giving these first-round picks more opportunities to be able to, you know, stay in the league longer. So, and if it does work out, then maybe the Saints go back to the negotiating table. Maybe they'll, you know what I'm saying, sign him to a 2-year deal or something like that, you know? So, I mean, to me, there's no harm, no foul here, right? This is a win-win situation for the New Orleans Saints. It's a win-win. Plain and simple. Like, you know, find a place for him. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, then move on. That's why John O'Barnes and Saints Happy Hour podcast and me continue to bash Falcon fans. Well, look, man, there's nothing more I love to do than to talk about them Falcons, as y'all know. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, at the end of the day, people love their respective teams, man. I mean, you know, everybody knows, man. I got friends that are Falcon fans. Shouts out to my boy Smitty. Shouts out to my boy Berto. You know what I'm saying? Eli, Archangel, who show up on the show quite often. Tony, don't really you know, really chime in as much, but I know he pays attention to the show. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, they just want their team to win, just like we want our team to win. You know, but there's no love lost between Saints and Falcon fans at all. But at the end of the day, it's you know, it's all fun, man. You know, I mean, some people like take it a little bit too far. I can't roll with the Katrina jokes. Some of the Falcon fans, they take it way too far. But for the most part, man, I don't really have too many issues with the Falcon fans that I'm cool with. Like, I don't. But trust and believe. But trust and believe. If them boys choke, I'll be there. I'll be there to provide some comedy. Y'all already know how I roll. Y'all already know how I roll, man. NFC South Roundtable, boy. Y'all already know how I roll. We got to stop letting suburban Karen control the league. I'm tired of the NFL banning stuff. Man, I don't know, man. They not as, I will say this, they not as bad as they used to be. When Roger Goodell first became the commissioner, I mean, they were just out here cutting this, cutting that, cutting this and that. But now, I mean, they didn't kind of like loosen up a little bit. As soon as we drafted Calvin Banks Jr., I called and predicted Banks starting at left tackle, Fuaga at the right tackle, and Penny moving to left guard. Just like a lot of people think is some big revelation on YouTube. Man, I don't think so. I don't think it is. I'm not saying that people don't feel that way. That's your opinion right there. But I'm just saying, like, to me, I just think that it makes sense. And I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and open up phone lines, man. Want to hear from you all. I'm gonna take a few phone calls today because my boy has another football game, you know what I'm saying, real soon. So I'm gonna take a few phone calls. We'll try to go a few more minutes here. But before I do, man, I forgot I gotta play these clips. I gotta set up this quarterback competition talk here. So the quarterback competition for the New Orleans Saints, y'all already know what it is, man. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough. No disrespect to Hunter Decker and no disrespect to Jake Haener, who suffered an oblique injury, which honestly is coming at one of the worst times. I mean, he was already behind the 8 ball to begin with. He wasn't really honestly a part of the conversation, with all due respect. Nobody was really checking for Jake Haener like that. I got, like, you already know, like, if you've been rocking with the state of the Saints, please go back and you'll see how much respect I have for Jake Haener. But you have to believe that this is a 2-man race at this point, and it's between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. Now, phase 1 of this OTA's install went to Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler started. He was the one that started with the first team, broke down practice, really was in that number 1 role. And he talked a little bit about that, man, being that number 1 in phase 1. Now, this isn't anything that's definite, right? This isn't something that's set in stone. This isn't something that isn't subject to change. But as of right now, this is where he was at the start of practice, and this is what he said about that.
Yeah, no, felt good. Nothing's promised, so you want to work every day. You want to lead your guys. Being the quarterback, got to have confidence out there. Got to have a little swag, and just get your teammates to believe in you.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a guy who was in a bad situation. Like, I know people want to go at Spencer Rattler, go at his neck. Oh man, Spencer Rattler, oh man, he had opportunities. He went 0-6. These are individuals that don't want to see the forest through the trees. These are the individuals that just want to be right about their suspicions or their thoughts and views about Spencer Rattler. If you look at Spencer Rattler and feel like the Saints gave him a fair shake last season, I with all due respect, you need to second guess yourself and your thoughts and your views about football, because there's no way that you can honestly believe that was a fair situation to this dude to succeed. And some of us like to look at football like we watching the Disney Channel or something, or we're watching Varsity Blues. Like, y'all remember when on Varsity Blues, your guy from Dawson's Creek, he was the quarterback after the guy, who unfortunately passed away. It was a Fast and the Furious. He was the starting quarterback, and then all of a sudden, in comes Mox, as they called him, come in, throws a 60-yard bomb down the field, deep throws. All of a sudden, like, he's the toast of the town. Oh, the team is about to go undefeated. John Voight all excited and stuff like that. He's my quarterback, this, that, and the third. All these different things. Like, that's how we want to look at football. Like, oh, our unfortunate circumstance. Oh, my goodness, woe is us. Oh, in comes this quarterback. And all of a sudden, he just lights it up with absolutely nobody, right? A bunch of like castaways. Yeah, that's a good script. Yeah, you probably can see that in Hollywood, but in real life, it doesn't happen like this. There, in the words of Cam Jordan, there are levels to this, right? There's a reason why there is such thing as a depth chart. There's a reason why there's a such thing as elite, all right? And some of us are watching too much Disney. And the reality is, Spencer Rattler went into the game with a bunch of backups and guys that are no longer in the NFL. Back up to the backups. And this man had to go out there and perform as a rookie. And some of y'all expect for this man to throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Give me a freaking break. All of the reports are saying from Matthew Parrish, from Nick Underhill, from all these reporters out here that were at the OTAs, said that Spencer Rattler looked more comfortable. I believe he went 8 for 8. I believe that people were talking about like how he looked much better with the starters actually being on the field. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought? So it's a good thing. It's a good thing if the New Orleans Saints have 2 quarterbacks that could possibly start for the team. It's also a good thing that you're actually seeing good things come from Spencer Rattler. Now, it could be that Kellen Moore is the type of offensive-minded coach that builds around the cast of characters that he has versus building around a scheme. And Spencer Rattler kind of talked a little bit about this. He actually, was very, very excited about the new offense and some of the things that are included. Check it out.
Feel great. Feel great. I think we play fast, play with tempo, RPOs. QB's going to be able to use his legs like you've seen what he's done with QBs in the past. I don't want to give away too much, but it's been great, man. I think the receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, everybody's gelling well with this offense and O-line as well. I mean, like I said, it feels smooth, feels good out there right now. Obviously, got to install more, but we're pretty deep into the playbook and it feels good.
Who would have thought, man? Building a team and building a scheme around the players that you have. Who would have thought that actually will work in the National Football League? I mean, who would have thought? But there is some competition there, right? You got Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough, rookie, second-round pick, has done some really good things throughout OTAs in his offseason process as well. Showed a lot of promise, showed a lot of athleticism from the quarterback position. And, he talked to the media about this whole competition, talked about how he and Spencer Rattler, they both are Arizona guys. I believe their high schools are probably like 45 minutes from one another. They pretty much were familiar with one another, but they never played against each other's high school team. But during the time, Tyler Shough, as funny as this is, he's actually older than Spencer Rattler, even though Spencer Rattler is going to his second season, and Tyler Shough is a rookie. But Tyler Shough spoke a little bit about the competition going on at OTAs and also the relationship between he and Spencer Rattler.
We're just bouncing ideas off of each other and more. I mean, it's kind of really like a reunion, but still kind of catching up. Still, it's a new offense. We knew each other a little bit previously, so it's all been really friendly and having fun. We're out there competing in every little thing, indie, net drills, footwork, all that stuff. That's the fun part about this job, man. We're going out there, we're trying to get better. I'm a year older, but he's been a year longer, so the league a year longer, and we're trying to just keep going and keep growing and keep building. No, I'm competing every day. No, we're competing every day. I think that's part of it. It's part of this job. That's why I love this game so much. Is you got to come out there and compete and get better and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so he talked about it, man. It's it's a competition. I actually like his mind frame. I actually like his mind frame. I like the way that he's approaching this thing, and I like the competitiveness between both guys. You don't have to be out here trying to slaughter a guy, trying to throw salt on his name, or even be to a point where Brett Favre it was with Aaron Rodgers, where you just don't give him any type of information at all. You just let him figure it out on his own. These dudes are competing, but they understand their teammates, and it was best for the team is for them to be able to work together and let the best man win. It's plain and simple there. All right. Read a few more comments and then we'll open up the phone lines. Let's see. I think with the progress of Rattler, making Shough wait for a while is good. Possibly be trade bait down the road. Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, if like I said, to me, even though Spencer Rattler, everybody was talking about how great he looked, I still think he has to play otherworldly. If they end up kind of being on the same level, or even if Spencer Rattler let's just say if he's one step above Tyler Shough, I still think that Tyler Shough gonna end up starting. The Saints want Tyler Shough to start. They want him to start. Now, if he doesn't, I think I agree with you. Letting him sit and wait could be a good thing, but they want him to start. You're not going to draft a guy in the second round, and this is your highest, the highest you drafted a quarterback in 1971, and you don't want him to start. Let's see. Buccaneers fan here. We hate the Aints. Well, look, man. I understand, why Tampa hate the New Orleans Saints. And yes, Tampa has won the NFC South 4 years in a row. But man, Tampa to me is like that little brother who went through a growth spurt. He was getting smacked around by his older brothers the entire time, and all of a sudden he developed a jump shot, and now he can be able to catch rebounds under the rim and kind of easily lay it in because he's taller than everybody. That's kind of what I look at Tampa. But at the end of the day, they still your little brother, regardless to what they talking about. Look, Tampa fans honestly just start coming around 2020. Credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization keeping y'all around. But I guarantee you, man, a lot of these Tampa Bay fans are new, brand new. You look at honestly, you look at their pages, you look at on social media, go back as far as 2015, 2014 on some of these social media platforms. And all of a sudden, you start seeing Tom Brady show up, and then from on back, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, they jumping in chats. I get it, man. I get it. I completely understand. Good organization, moves over there. But at the end of the day, the Saints don't even look at Tampa as a rival. Tampa wants to be the Saints rival so bad, but they're not. They're not. I don't even know who Tampa's rival is. I don't even think it's Carolina. Maybe it's Carolina. I don't know. It's they try so desperately to try to be rivals with the Saints. I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. We get it, man. All the credit in the world. They've been dominating the division for 4 seasons, but they'll never be a better they're not a better fan base. They don't have as loyal fans as Saints fans are. A lot of they fans are new. A lot of their fans become fans because maybe they moved down there. And there's a lot of fair weather stuff going on around there. So I'm just just telling the truth, man. And it says, let's see, respect to you, also, Jerry. Yeah, man. Look, man. All I'm saying is, man, Tampa, as good as they've been over the last couple of years, man. I don't even I'm gonna tell you, like, this way you know, like, you're a rival. You have like some, like, when you have an emotional investment in a team losing. Like when I watch Tampa, I just watch Tampa. Like, no, like, I know we got some Falcon fans in here, but when I watch the Falcons, I'm like, man, I hope they lose this week. Watch the Cowboys, like, I hope they lose. I mean, Tampa just be on. You know what I'm saying? You're not like you be like clean up your house and you'll put on a documentary or something like that, or something that just plays as background music for on Netflix. That's how I look at Tampa. Like that's the way I look at them. Like it ain't even like they brag and boast about winning the division, and everybody know, like, okay, y'all win the division, but y'all just gonna get y'all ass kicked in the first round, or, you know what I'm saying, they'll probably end up like getting smacked around in a, you know, in a divisional round or something. You know, like it like y'all ain't about to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't doing nothing. Like y'all team is basically just kind of set up right now to just keep y'all happy. Like, y'all ain't winning nothing of any significance. Y'all probably, like, as soon as like this division figures itself out, like, y'all just go right back to the bottom. Y'all just go right back to the bottom. Like, everybody is terrible in this division. It's not like Tampa is like blowing away the division. Like, it's always like they win by one game. Like, look, I mean, they like it always like or like a collapse. Like we all thought that the Falcons should have won the division last year. They should have won the division. They had like they beat Tampa twice, but they just collapsed. So it just takes like a monumental thing in order for Tampa to, you know, achieve anything. Teams got to collapse. Guys got to get hurt. Like, this is a trash bag division. Give me a freaking break. Like, if you was dominate, if this was the AFC North or NFC West or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, man, but winning the division, being 9-8, 8-9, like, come on, man. Come on. All right, open up the phone lines, man. I'm gonna take a few of your calls. And I just ask everybody to be short, man, between like 2 to 3 minutes. I can't talk as long, you know, as I normally do. Okay, can't talk as long as I normally do. Got to get ready for this flag football game with Paxton. All right, gonna go to Josh. Josh, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
All right, man. Thanks for chiming in, man. How everything been going?
Well, I'm a master now, man. I've got the master's degree, and I did my walk last Thursday and everything like that. 4 or 5. I guess it's a little over a week ago now.
Okay, man. Congratulations to you once again. I know you was telling us about that. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I have my master's degree, and I now have lost a total of 230 pounds. So things are good on my end, at least for the moment, man.
Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, keep up the good work.
Thanks, brother. So I wanted, before I address the quarterback thing, I wanted to address what you were just talking about as far as Tampa. And, you know, the NFC South suffers from the fact that New Orleans is the only place that has a large dedicated fan base. Tampa doesn't have a large dedicated fan base because it's Florida and it's a transplant city and it's a transplant state. Most people there are not from there.
Right.
Atlanta is the same deal. Atlanta is the new Hollywood. Most of the movie industry and music industry is out there in Atlanta now. So Atlanta is a transplant city too. So it's hard to get a dedicated fan base with a bunch of people from other places.
Right.
In Carolina, I mean, that's not necessarily a transplant city, but for whatever reason, football just hasn't caught on there the way it does in a lot of places, right? So New Orleans is the only place with a dedicated fan base, and it's very hard to get actual rivalries going without a dedicated fan base.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why you feel about Tampa the way you do, because they don't really have a big energized fan base for you to like be mad at or hate on or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it makes division rivalries very hard. Nobody cares about the rivalry between the Panthers and the Bucks.
No,
I mean, even if they were both 16-0 teams, people would be like, "Oh, what? I'd rather watch something else." You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I come from the NFC North, which is probably the most dedicated fan base as far as a division in the whole NFL.
I agree. I agree with
You know what I'm saying? Every team up here, the Bears, the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, all have large, extremely dedicated fan bases that don't turn against their team no matter what. Um, so I don't know. I just wanted to kind of go off on that. But to get into the quarterback situation, man, don't discount Hunter Deckers. I came from Iowa State. And as you know, Iowa State was very bottom feeder for a very long time. You know, the Cyclones were not a team anybody even worried about as far as when they saw the Cyclones on their schedule, it was like a guaranteed victory, right? Hunter Deckers is a big part of the reason that they were able to lift themselves out of obscurity. Hunter Deckers is a good quarterback. He's accurate and he's got a good arm and he's got a lot of skills. So I would not, and I've seen him play numerous times, so I would not discount this dude at all. I think he's better than Brock Purdy. You know, he's the one who replaced Brock Purdy at Iowa State. I don't know if you know that, but
I knew that.
Yeah, I think he's actually a little bit better. So I mean, don't discount him. He might turn out to be the starter, if not this year, maybe the year after, if we hang on to him. That boy does have some serious skills. So I just wanted to put that out there. But if he doesn't, you know, get on, it's probably going to be Tyler. I can't imagine Spencer Rattler beating out Tyler for this job. So in all likelihood, it's going to end up being Tyler. And with that, I'll let you respond.
Well, I like Hunter Deckers a lot. I think that he's talented. I do agree with you. He has a certain skill set that's pretty underrated if you don't really know him. But I just look at the way that the Saints are structured and also understand like the political aspect of the NFL. You know, when you're dealing with millionaires and billionaires, people, you know, want to give you the illusion that they've got it right. So they're going to give those guys like Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shough the opportunities, probably more opportunities than that of Hunter Deckers. Now, if there's a situation that happens kind of unforeseen, like we saw last season where you had some injuries at the quarterback position, you know, your team is decimated, maybe they'll probably go with him. But I think this is one of those situations where if he does perform in preseason or, you know, he goes out there and he really shows something, maybe a team would probably, you know, have some interest in him or maybe be willing to give the Saints something, you know, for him. But I don't see like him, you know, even being in that competition unless, once again, like how I feel about Spencer Rattler, he just knocks everybody's socks off and he just becomes completely undeniable. I just think that the Saints want Tyler Shough to work out, but if Spencer Rattler it can be that bridge guy for him in the meantime, I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. I just think it's an uphill battle for Hunter Deckers. I mean, but I do believe he's talented.
I just want to say one more thing before I let you get to the next call, because I want to ask you about this. I didn't see, I don't know if you even saw the comment or if I just missed what you said, but I asked if you were happy with Brandon Staley so far. And the reason for that is because from what I'm reading, and I know you can't trust everything you read, but from what I'm reading, a couple of writers have said that he's just switching us right to a 3-4 defense. And I just don't think that that's a great idea with what we have. So I'm not necessarily happy with that direction. If that's, I know he wants to, I mean, I'm good with getting us over there eventually, but we don't have the players right now for a 3-4 defense. We can't even stop the run with 4 guys on the line. And stopping the outside runs, who do we have that's quick enough to do that on a consistent basis? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that it's a good idea to just, if that's what he's doing, maybe you've heard different than me, but if that's what he's doing, I'm actually not happy with him so far. But I'll let you respond to that.
Well, I haven't heard that much about Brandon Staley. I do feel like some guys will benefit from that 3-4 defense, and also some of the players defensively that they added kind of are more suitable for that 3-4, like Devon Godshaw, Chase Young. You'll probably be able to find more success, you know, being able to stand up than having his hand.
I agree with Chase Young.
Yeah,
Chase Young, I agree with. Yeah.
So, I mean, also, you know, we talked about some of these edge rushers that the Saints need to try to, you know, get out there, you know, like having those small hybrid type guys that can be able to get those double-digit sacks. So I don't have an issue with it. I think it is far enough in the process for guys to kind of get on the same page and understand that. I mean, we got a long road ahead before the Saints get to the regular season. So right now, I mean, it's about the installation process. So right now they're just trying to make that transition. So they got plenty of time, and you'll figure out who can do what. And if guys aren't suitable, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some individuals that step up. But I think that some of the players on the Saints team will probably benefit from this 3-4. So maybe some of the players that we aren't looking at or have counted on probably could find success there because their mental makeup, some of the skill set, the athleticism will probably be more suitable for that 3-4.
Yeah, I've actually changed my mind. That you've changed my mind numerous times.
But when it comes to Brandon Staley, I mean, it's so early in the process, Josh. Like, it's kind of hard. Like, you don't know what he will actually bring to the table until we actually can see it in real time. I mean, we got to be careful about like some of the articles and stuff like that are being written because I mean, we really don't know what these things are going to turn out to be. I mean, every single year we hear about how something may not work, and then all of a sudden we're looking at a playoff team, or we're looking at a defensive coordinator that ends up becoming a head coach or offensive coordinator. So I just say, we got to have a wait and see approach. I don't have an opinion about Brandon Staley right now. I don't have an issue with the whole 3-4 thing, but I mean, it's something to change when we see if this can actually work. If not, then I think we can come back to the table and have this conversation.
And the one last thing, TJ, I got to call you out on something, man. I saw your post. Say it ain't true, TJ. Say you are not moving to enemy territory next month.
Enemy territory?
I saw a post of yours on Instagram or somewhere saying you're moving to Atlanta.
No. I said I was thinking about there's a possibility that I could.
I thought I could have sworn it said you're moving to Atlanta next month.
No, I said possibility. I've been looking at like job opportunities, saying the Georgia area, like just to kind of get closer, to home. My wife is from Alabama. Of course, my family, they stay out in Mississippi, New Orleans area. We're kind of farther back. So yeah, I've been looking at job opportunities in that area, but I don't plan on moving right now.
I know what this is going to turn out to be, TJ. This is going to turn out to be like an Eric Bischoff type deal. You're going to move out to Atlanta, and then it's going to turn out that you were an undercover Falcons fan all along, and you're going to get on one of these podcasts and rip off your Saints shirts. There's going to be a Falcons shirt underneath it, and you're going to have like that evil laugh like Eric Bischoff has.
Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. But look, I'm a fan of the NFL, so if an opportunity presents itself, like I put over 1,800 episodes of this. If somebody, offer me an opportunity, I don't care, man. Like, I don't care what team it actually is, man. I'm a broadcaster at the end of the day, and I love the NFL. I always gonna love the Saints, but at the end of the day, man, my goal is to talk sports and be able to create content for the world to see. So if that opportunity presented itself, I mean, I'll try to be fair and impartial, but that'll never happen. You know what I'm saying? They'll never see.
Atlanta is super expensive to live in, though, brother. It's like as bad as California, if not worse.
Yeah, you'll never see me. You'll never see me do that. Okay, I'm New Orleans through and through. I appreciate it, Josh, man. Thanks for chiming in. Call back anytime, man.
Messing with you, brother. See you later.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man. I mean, look. Somebody said, Cliff said, "Well, that's the show." Bro, we just started. How do we have an opinion? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have an opinion about something we haven't seen already. Let's see. I live in Atlanta. I give them the blue here. Yeah, look, man, I ain't got no problem with Atlanta, the city. I actually like the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I get the key on, who was there? What? Last week? So I was in LaGrange, Georgia, because we took Paxton to a place called Great Wolf Lodge out there, and then we spent some time, ate some lunch on our way back to South Carolina in Atlanta. I mean, we go there quite often, so I don't have a problem with the city, and I will live there. And if a sports opportunity comes up, I would move to Atlanta and do sports there. I'm not gonna lie about that. My dream, that's what I've always aspired to do. All right, but let's go ahead and go to King Arthur. King Arthur, how you doing, man?
What's up, TJ?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? I see you at work, man. How
Well,
everything going?
well, you know me. I'm just trying to get these people out here on these flights.
Yeah.
They whining and stuff like that. I ain't got time for it. But I'll tell you what I do got time for. I won't paint a picture for the Who That Nation real quick, you heard me? Since we got Buccaneers fans hopping in the chat talking about how good they are and all this kind of stuff. And like you mentioned, the new fans.
Mm-hmm.
You a OG Saints fan. So you know from 67 to '01, we was in the NFC West. You
Right.
heard me?
Right.
They probably have no idea about that.
Man, probably
I
don't.
want you to tell me real quick to help me paint this picture. When did the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl? Their first Super Bowl?
What was like 2002, 2003, something like that? I want to say 2002.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for about let's give them a 2-year stretch when they had Warwick Dunn and Warren Sapp, where they was really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2-year sample size after that long stretch of the Saints being not so good in the NFC West, and now y'all found some prosperity in 2001, 2002. When Drew Brees got there, now you got a 15 to 17-year stretch of the Saints slapping y'all around. just just dog walking y'all all up and down Bourbon Street. You hear me? So you get to 2020 where Tom Brady get the and be a Super Bowl merchant, and now all of a sudden because you don't won a bad division 4 years straight, credit to you for doing so, but you won a bad division 4 years straight, and even then you was doing it with 9 and 8 records.
Hmm.
And now all of a sudden you won't beat your chest talking about the Buccaneers are a better organization.
Hmm.
Since when, bro?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Like, yeah, man, I give credit what credit is due. If we're talking about right now who has the better organization, they do. If we're talking about historically, the Saints have. The Saints have had the better like organization, structure. They honestly, like I said, they've really been making some really good moves over the last couple of years. But I don't feel like Tampa fans are as committed or, as diehard as New Orleans Saints fans are. And that's just a fact. Like that just man, I mean, it's just the proof is in the pudding. But like I said, I give them credit. But at the end of the day, man, like I just don't look at Tampa like that. Like, they won the division, but I don't look at them like they just this dominant football team. Like, I just don't.
So let me ask you this. With the exception of let's give them 6 years of including the 01-02 season or whatever, and the last 4 seasons or whatever. Let's give them 6 years of prosperity. What was going on in the last 35 years? What have y'all done to be of some significance and to be beating your chest at thinking that you a rival with the Saints? No, you're a rival with the Carolina Panthers fighting for the bottom of the South.
Yeah.
That's who your rival is. Yeah. And I think they're better than y'all.
All right. Yeah, somebody, like I'm looking at, in the chat, they say we a better franchise. We got 2 Super Bowls. That don't mean anything. Like, we gotta stop. If we're talking about 2 Super Bowls, that's like saying Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino. Like Dan Marino, like Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl, Dan Marino doesn't. Does that mean that Joe Flacco is a better quarterback than Dan Marino was in his career? No, it doesn't. We got to stop making like, oh man, Super Bowls like is the deciding factor. Yeah, it is. It matters, but it's not the deciding factor. I mean, Steve Kerr got 6 championships, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Clyde Drexler never had one. Karl Malone never had one. Are you saying that Steve Kerr is better than Clyde Drexler? Give me a freaking break.
Exactly.
Like that just means that there was 2 years that you all were able to put it together. I mean, that doesn't mean that you're a superior franchise. And as far as like that's not being a hater, that's a fact.
That's a fact, dude.
I mean, like I said, I give them credit what credit is due, but man, like you don't have room to beat up your chest. Like still, as much winning as they have done over the last 4 years, the Saints still dominate the overall record between those two. They just honestly just started really finding success against the Saints, and you know what I'm saying, consistently over the last 4 years. Like there's so many different things that have transpired over the last couple of years, which I can understand them beating on their chest. And we have a tendency of, you know, forgetting about what has transpired throughout the time because we feel validated because maybe we are finding success. But like I said, at the end of the day, Tampa fans aren't as loyal as Saints fans. And I guarantee you that the moment where they have issues and problems, and if the things start breaking down and they become absolute train wreck, I guarantee you the energy would be completely different. Like I said, I mean, credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. I salute 4 straight division championships, but y'all not a better franchise. Not a better franchise, not a more committed franchise. And there's nothing like it just not. You know, like, I mean, this ain't even like this not even a debate. Like, you look at like some of the top, like, think about it, like, you look at the top rankings when it comes to like fan bases. Tampa always like midway, always at the bottom. Like, they're a conditional fan base because, like Josh said, like, you have people that's coming from all different areas to live in Tampa. Tampa is a retirement community. Like, when it's all said and done, people move down to Tampa to live out the rest of their life, to live on the beach and maybe play a little golf or something. Like, man, Tampa is not a, like, it is New Orleans is built different. It just is.
You ain't never lied, boy. I was just telling somebody how much the Saints mean to the city of New Orleans. The fan base is loyal because, especially during around the time Hurricane Katrina happened, just the Saints going out there and win that game, bro, it did so much for the people who were suffering. You know, like, we don't just look at our team as, oh, it's just a team that the city have. No, that team is ingratiated into the culture of New Orleans. You know, so even when they do bad, the real Saints fans, yeah, we're gonna reprimand them, we're gonna criticize them, yeah, but we ain't going nowhere though.
Right.
You hear me? It's always who that.
Yep.
But I ain't about to get them people no more energy, bro. I did want to get to this.
All right.
I'm okay with Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler. Either one of them kids, if they start, I'll be good with it because, one, if anybody watch tape on Tyler Shough, bro, that boy got some arm talent, dude.
Yeah, he does.
He really do. He has a lot of arm talent. Same thing with Spencer Rattler. I expect you to be more comfortable your second year in as opposed to a rookie who coming in here not knowing the ropes, still trying to make the adjustment and stuff like that, but still went 7 out of 8 when he got a chance to run with the ones.
Right.
Y'all both gonna do good, and I'm okay with having 2 starting level caliber quarterbacks sitting in my QB room.
Right.
We don't need to pit these guys against each other in terms of, oh, he need to not like him or anything like that. Iron sharper iron, bro. Let Spencer Rattler make you go hard. Let Tyler Shough make you be better as a quarterback.
Yep.
But I'm okay with both of them because if one of them go down, I know we have somebody else that can just step in and keep things flowing smoothly.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I just don't understand this whole division between Saints fans. Oh, I think that he's going to be a starter. He don't look like a good quarterback. Oh, Spencer Rattler had his chances. Like, both of these quarterbacks represent your favorite team. So you should want both of them to succeed because the better they look, the better chances the Saints have of getting themselves out of this purgatory they've been in over the last 4 seasons. So I don't care. Like me, I don't care who is the starting quarterback. As long as whoever starts generates some levels of success and go out there and make some plays that haven't been made over the last couple of years. That's all I care about. If you are trying to divide these 2 individuals or create a rift, you know, or trying to divide the fan base, like you just you're not serving a purpose at all. Like, to me, like, it's just about both of these guys finding success. And I take pride in knowing that both guys perform well at OTAs because that means they're going to bring it into training camp. And as much as the competition starts to rev up, we are going to have whoever is the starting quarterback is going to know that he earned that spot. And that's all you can want as a Saints fan.
Right. I'm gonna say this, TJ, and I'm gonna let you get to your other calls. But this might be a little controversial. But given that Tyler Shough is Kellen Moore's guy, Spencer Rattler can't tie with him. And what I mean by that in terms of performance and OTAs, you have to blow him out of the water, bro, to make it undeniable that you QB1, because it's like fighting the boxing champ. You're not gonna win on the cards, dog. I don't
Right.
care how close that fight is. You got to put
Right.
him down because he already has a leg up by being the coach's guy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I don't want Tyler. He don't seem to have the temperament or the mentality of this, but I don't want Tyler to get comfortable and think, oh, they drafted me second, so I'm likely gonna be QB1. I don't want
Right.
you to get comfortable like that, kid. I want you to feel like you on the hot seat
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's gonna make you perform.
Yep.
What you think?
Yeah, look, I think that, he has to approach it, as, every day I got to make sure that I'm trying to prove myself. And I like the fact that both of these guys are really looking at this thing as a competition. Nobody should like walk up in there feel like they got something in a bag. And, you got to be able to put your best stuff on tape. You got to make sure that you're putting your best product out there on the field. And you also got to have your offensive weapons feeling like they can believe in you, because you're going to put them in a position to succeed. I think that Tyler Shough has the right mind frame. I don't think he's, I think that he's like super competitive. I listened to like the interview inside the locker room. You can tell like he's sure of himself. That was like, that was a level of concern to me. How much confidence does this guy has? He believes in his ability, and he feels like he deserves to be in that spot. What type of quarterback he'll be remains to be seen, but I think that you're going to get your all from him. I believe that. I don't think that was just something that he put on social media to try to make Saints fans feel good. I think it's something that he actually believes. So if he believes that, he goes out there and performs like that, I think that, he'll have a great career. But in the meantime, I'm happy to see that Spencer Rattler is out there and he's ready to compete. And, he's making that transition from that rookie to the sophomore year. And it seems like, he seems like he's getting things together in his own right. So it should be a really good competition, man, leading up into the regular season.
Hey, last thing, Trevor Penning gonna have a breakout season at guard. Okay, well, nobody said that boy he liked to be in people's face, bro. And that's where you do that. And here's something else that's underrated about that I don't think we're paying attention to. You mentioned earlier in the show that the reason he was getting killed is because there was so much space around him, and there was edge rushers able to utilize that space and take advantage of his lack of foot speed.
Right.
You don't have that. You don't have the same disparity at guard. It's like fighting in a phone booth.
Right.
So I think he's finna maul some people, bro.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
I mean, look, man, this is a make it or break a year for Trevor Penning. I mean, this could be a year where the Saints decide to pay you and extend you, or this could be a year where you can have a solid year, like Mekhi Becton did with Philadelphia, and he got himself paid somewhere else. This could be an opportunity for you. So taking advantage of the opportunity is key. It's key, man. So I can't get on board with that, kid, out there, as far as like I don't know what type of year you're gonna have. Like, I hope that you're right. I mean, but I do think that some of what he does, it kind of suits the position of guard. So he should, he should find success. But I mean, a lot of people aren't really, saying too much about him at the right tackle position, but he played every game last season. I mean, there were games where, he struggled, but for the most part, I mean, he was pretty steady. And, so that's a plus, right? I mean, you already, climbed that mountain of attrition. So now if you can transition from, the outside to the inside and find success there, that could be your natural landing spot, and you can probably end up getting yourself paid. So I hope that you're right, man. I hope that you're right, but I think that he's gonna bring some nastiness to the inside, which I feel like the Saints haven't had in a very long time.
All right, but that's all I got for you, TJ. I'm gonna let you get to your other calls, bro. I'm about to go get back out here on the ramp. Blessings to you and your family, bro, with your transition, trying to find another job out here in Atlanta. That's where you coming. Your boy is out here, so you got an ally. But but hopefully everything go well for you, bro. Who that?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, King Arthur, man. Be careful out there.
You know it.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man. Shouts out to King Arthur, man, out there. He works at the airport, man, and shouts out to my guy, man. been supporting the show for a long time. Let's see. Somebody said that guy you talking to needs to go back to work. Hey, man, look, I appreciate all the hard working people, man, that stopped by, man. I appreciate that. But I got to go ahead, man, and wrap it up, man. But my final thoughts are simple. Iron sharpens iron, as you've seen on the thumbnail, between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. I'm glad that both guys are really putting forth their best effort. Should be an interesting, competitive quarterback race. 100 Deckers. I just hope that he can go out there and show something. That would be a great asset to have for the New Orleans Saints, based on what we have seen when it comes to the injuries throughout the last couple of years. This whole offensive alignment on the offensive line is, it's amazing to see. Like, I want to see all of these guys work. And I think that having Tallahassee on the right and Calvin Banks on the left is key. Trevor Penning as a guard, I think that he can be pretty solid. I'm still concerned about Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, health-wise, haven't been able to finish out the season or play an entire season in a long time. So hopefully, this new training staff, this new regiment, some of the analytics and some of the technology that the Saints are implementing this year can help them to be able to stay on the field. And also, man, just having Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed at full speed, it's plus as well, man. I mean, this is what you need. You need your top players to be out there and being available for you in order for you to generate success offensively or defensively. But thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shouts out to everybody that's here. Shouts out to all of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. Shouts out to the Atlanta Falcon fans. Look, man, we disagree when it comes to our favorite teams and who we root for. But at the end of the day, it's all love at the end of the day, man. Just like, as long as you stay respectful, as long as you ain't out here, going way out of pocket, I have absolutely no problem with you expressing your thoughts and your views about the Saints or anybody else. Shouts out to Jerry, man. I seen that in the chat that he eclipsed 600 subscribers on the channel. Congratulations to you, man. Keep moving forward. Next thing you know, you're gonna be at 6,000 and then 60,000, man. So keep on keeping on, man. Keep up the good work. Keep on grinding, and you'll reach any goal that you have set out for yourself. And thank you to everybody that's in the chat. Shouts out to everybody that's here. Shouts out to everybody that wanted to be here, couldn't be here. Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweet and be post. They be tweet and be post. They be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweet and be post. They be tweet and be post. They be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. Shouts out to all after show boys and after show girls out here. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. You can follow me on X at TJAY Jones8. Shouts out to Josh. Shouts out to King Arthur for chiming in. If you didn't get on the phone lines, next episode we will have the phone lines open. If I don't speak to you by then, hope everybody has a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe out there, man. If you're going to have a good time, get your drink on. Make sure you're drinking responsibly. Don't get behind the wheel. Stay safe so you can get back to us next time. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?